Most people would toss valuable bills like these back into circulation thinking they're just messed up, but what looks like damage can actually be a printing error, and collectors pay big money for them. Take a close look at this one. Can you spot what's wrong? Don't worry if you missed it, most people do. Today I'll show you 8 bills that look messed up, but turned out to be errors that sold for up to $550. This first bill is a star note, and the stars at the end of the serial numbers are not supposed to be solid green, but one of them was filled in by mistake. This is a minor over-inking issue that occurred during printing, and to most people, it would go unnoticed or just look like a tiny defect, but it's actually an error, and the little mistake on this bill helped it sell for over $47. Here's a 1995 $1 bill where the reverse is misaligned. At first glance, it might look like just a poorly printed, crooked back design on a bill. And if you were only looking at the front, you would have no idea the back was so misaligned unless you flipped it over. For that matter, print shifts on the reverse can easily go unnoticed, or if they are spotted, it could seem like a worthless, terrible print job. But this is actually an error, and the misalignment on this bill gave it an $80 sale price. This $1 bill has most of the black Federal Reserve seal missing. It's a subtle quirk that could easily be mistaken for fading or an invaluable printing mess up, but it's actually an error. These kinds of errors are usually due to insufficient inking or an obstruction during printing. A small printing error can make a big difference in value though, because this bill sold for $90 plus shipping. Next is a 1995 $1 bill with white streaks cutting through the design on both the front and back of the bill. These streaks can easily be mistaken for damage to the bill, but this is an error called a gutter fold. This is basically a crease where the paper folded incorrectly during printing and ink never hit the creased area. Then the blank gap remains once it's unfolded. This bill, having 2 gutter folds in the design, sold for $110. Actually looking at the back of a bill right now that has a mirrored image of the front design overlaid onto it. This might just look like the front of the design bled through to the back, but this is actually an error called an offset printing error. These errors can easily be missed since one side of the bill looks perfectly normal. The bill in this example sold for $149.95. Here's a 2013 $1 bill missing a digit in the serial number. This can be super easy to miss at a glance, and even if it is spotted, it just looks like a simple printing mess up that would mean nothing to someone who isn't savvy to the fact this is an error. Like one of the earlier bills, this error can be due to insufficient ink or an obstruction during the printing process, but it can also be due to programming issues on the printing equipment. This bill sold for $150 plus shipping. This 1985 $1 bill has a smear of green ink on the back. What might look like damage to the bill from marker or some other type of absorbed liquid, this is actually an ink smear that happened during the printing process. Pen or marker usually bleeds unevenly and soaks fibers. A true smear keeps the same ink tone and follows a smooth motion, so it's understandable how this could just seem like a damaged bill to the untrained eye. However, this ink smear error bill pulled in $299 plus shipping. Finally, this $1 bill might look completely normal at first glance, but the first digit in the top and bottom serial numbers don't match. What can seem like a simple printing mishap and brushed off as no big deal to the untrained eye is actually a highly sought after error. What makes this specific bill even more valuable is that it happened on a star note. Star notes are supposed to replace a normal note that was pulled before it went into circulation at the printing press due to it being spotted with damage or an error. So the irony here is that the error occurred on a star note and it gave the sale price a nice boost, and it sold for $550 plus shipping. So what might look like messed up bills to some actually turned out to be printing errors that sold between $40 to $550. Next time you get change, check closely, because even the smallest mistake could mean serious money. If you want to see more examples of rare bills that could be hiding in your wallet, make sure you hit subscribe and drop a comment. Which of these errors would you have spotted and which ones would you have missed? Thanks for watching.